stunning Adriatic sea views where we can build a modern architectural home. That's our objective, and we're meeting with a lot of realtors, and we're going to showcase what we're able to see and find. So here we go.
We are on a journey to find real estate deals in places of utmost beauty. Entry-priced luxury properties that are undervalued or deliver high short-term rental revenue, what we call Blue Vista properties. We've bought, sold, renovated or leased high-end properties or land in stunning locations around the world. Come with us as we explore new locations, develop new projects, explain our methodology, and share the learnings along our journey.
So now we're exploring just south of Budva, the coastline. There's some amazing properties that are up on the hill, really reasonable prices, kind of 180 views over the Adriatic. So very different from Kotor Bay or the Porto Montenegro, Tivat, Krasici area. Different feeling. This is really Mediterranean. If you can see, I'm just going to move over here. The background, just the big open kind of ocean. And this is, there's a lot of houses, but I saw some plots up higher up, 5 minute down, 5-10 minute down. So a bit like you have up here, some properties, just this dramatic scenery in the background on one side, and then looking down into the blue ocean. Absolutely stunning. I don't think prices are going up. I think this is really the moment to find. You can still find some amazing deals. All right, so we arrived in Budva, so on the Adriatic coast. I'll just turn around so you can see just right there, coastline. And we're going to be driving to meet with a realtor. So now that I'm driving, I probably shouldn't be holding this and talking at the same time. So I'm just going to fast forward as we head to see some plots on this side of the coast. So here we go. All right, so just arrived. Sorry for the noise of the cars. Sveti, Stefan. It's beautiful, kind of like it's an island, but it's connected. You'll see right behind me down there. Just was purchased by the Aman group of hotels and resorts, which super luxurious, attracts tons of people, do selfies. Big attraction in the area. It's just a couple you see over there. Just Budva is right over there, so it's really not far from Budva. You can see up the mountains in the background. Just really beautiful. I mean, just look at the view right down here. Just just the green going all the way down. It's beautiful. See there, little pebble beach, and you can see the coastline out there, the Stefan and Budva in the distance. There's a lot of coast, so but just beautiful Adriatic views. So stunning, stunning, stunning. So what's the experience here on the coast from Budva downward? First of all, it's quite different from Krasici, or the Bay of Kotor, because it's the big open Adriatic Sea. So you have some beautiful cliff line. There's that open space feeling, which is really nice. So first I went to a first town, I think it's Blizi Kuche, something like that. Drove up, So a few things to pay attention to is if there's anything that sounds possibly complicated that requires extra paperwork, just be careful. So in this case, it was the access. So there was an access road. I mean, it was not the best. I'm always a bit nervous if we build something into Airbnb and the road is not great, but it wasn't too long. But it was above the plot, and it's a quite steep plot, and the only buildable area, because it's very expensive to build on a very steep, and this was steep. So from the top where they took me, the views were stunning. So you're like, wow, just 180-degree mountain behind. I'll show you some I'll share some of the footage, but it was just absolutely stunning. But however, the building area is down below. So okay, so we go around and we go below. And there's a lot of trees in front. So number one, blocking the view. Now you can go 3 levels up, but level 1 would be no view. Level 2, probably top of trees. Level 3, you would have the view. And the purpose is if you're buying something here, you want the amazing view. Now the trees are in someone else's lot. So they're like, oh, you can cut the trees. Okay, first of all, not sure, because maybe they don't want to let you cut the trees, and the trees will just grow higher and higher and higher. So there's question number 1. Question number 2 is the access. They're like, no, but this access road that we took, so not the one above, there's a lower one also, but that one, so the one above is an issue because you're way above the plot. You'd have to do stairs all the way down, carrying your suitcases 50 meters down a super steep hill in the middle of the night. If you arrive, not a good idea. The other access, they said, oh yeah, but this belongs to other people's plots. But there's a plan for the government to build an access road. So okay, when the plan, that sounds all. Then they're like, yeah, but the owner here, just like the one above, he could take his tractor and build one for you. I'm like, okay, but there's so many nightmare stories. There's one of that this is the type of things where, so there's one it was in Greece, and people bought a lot, looked beautiful, the access passes, and it's a road, so you think, but actually the rights of the road belong to someone else, and on top of that, the person just made some changes to the lot and they lost the access. And you'd think it's quite straightforward. There was an access, it's been 6 years in court and they haven't resolved it. So from my perspective, I told them, look, it was a great price, 60,000 euros. Potential, if those trees could be trimmed down a little bit, stunning. 10 minutes, just above Stefan, not far, you don't see it, but really close. 10 minutes from Budva, great location. But again, then just too many question marks. And then they took me to another lot. Nice, much easier to build, access, but not really this kind of beautiful overlooking ocean view. And then they told me later, oh, it just sold. So then they took me to a third location, a bit further down towards Petrovac, about 20 minutes from Budva. Actually nice. There's 3 lots going, different sizes. And the last one is just kind of on a plateau, beautiful. And you have a view of the ocean, but it's more like kind of a V because there's a hill and a hill. And they're telling me, it's expensive. It's 150,000 euros. It's, I think, about 600 square meters. I don't remember exactly. I'll get the details. But you could really build something nice. And they're selling me all the reasons to say, okay, you can be away from the wind. So in the winter, there's 2 different winds, the north, the south, I don't remember. They had 2 names, and they said, look, it's protected. Also in the summer, because you're on the mountain, it's green around, beautiful oak trees around it, crazy oak trees, beautiful. But they said it's not as hot because it can get brutally hot in the summer. So a lot of arguments. And there's a stream that runs by close by. You get access to water. And with the water, you don't pay. So they said, that's amazing. You have a pool, you're filling the pool, you have water, you guests, whatever. So, and it's in this just beautiful green area. You could hear the waves below. And I said, what would be the lowest price that the seller? And they said, well, you can make an offer, but he won't go lower than 100,000. Not even sure he'd accept, right? Because at 150 to 100. But, and I was thinking to myself, now later as I was driving down the coast, going back, I always get excited. I mean, whenever I see property in nature, ocean view, anything 100,000 euros and down, I get excited. I can picture it. And in some parts, actually, they have some restrictions of building where they tell you you have to have kind of Mediterranean style house. Now, it depends what you want to do, but for me, there's a lot of Mediterranean style houses here, right? Because historically, that's what they built. If you look around, if I go and look outside, even buildings in the past were a bit like Mediterranean style, like this. So you can see those roofs over there. I don't know if you can see there, just kind of, roof, slanted roof, tiles. So they were saying that in this other part, when that second plot I saw, you had to stick to that building, which also means the windows are smaller, etc. And for me, if I'm going to do Airbnb, I want the property to stand out. I want people to see it and go, wow. And I don't want to have 100 the same, right? Hundreds and hundreds. So so that was interesting. So in this lot, they said in this area you can build whatever you want. So you could do a modern, beautiful bay windows house. It's the last lot, so you got a little road up, and you're the last, so privacy. You could put the pool in front, infinity, overlooking the water. So really, a lot of pros. I was quite excited about it. So I started driving back, and then I was just looking at this expanse, and I was just thinking, wow, you don't have that impression of just that 180 of the ocean, that immenseness, because you have a kind of this V-shaped in below. So that was a bit of for me. And then as I was driving down the coastline, this is what happens. You have the sun setting. And over there, because it's a little bit, tucked in, then definitely a long time ago, the sun would have passed over. So you wouldn't have that late afternoon sun. And in fact, in the winter, so what's nice with this is the sun comes, so you're really going to have sun all year round. But in the winter, probably it gets darker earlier. You don't get that beautiful end of day kind of a sun impression. So those are a few things. Looking forward to see what realtors are going to show me tomorrow. So just got back from visiting a few plots here in the Budva area. Interesting experience. So anyways, I'll just explain. The first one, a small lot in a corner, good access, steep slope, so it would be quite difficult to build. I do have some videos if anyone's interested. 85,000 euros, 369 square meters, the plot. And you can build, 3 floors, up to 249 square meters gross is the size. That's a nice size house. It's an expensive area because it's 300 meters to a beach. One of the most expensive homes of Montenegro, I was told. I saw it's this crazy huge palace looking, is like 5 minutes away. So definitely an expensive area. The view, there's a bit of a village in front, but you have a beautiful view. Now, there's always, in my view, there's always a catch when the price is good, and it's under the road. So there's no one in front, no one can build in front, no one can block you. But when you're standing there, you can hear, not super loud, but you hear cars going by. In my experience, if you want to be sitting by the pool, chilling, looking at the ocean, you don't want to hear cars going by. So for me, that would be a no-go. So we'll move to the next plot. Next plot was actually with a view of that most expensive house and ocean, much closer to ocean, super views. But then the price goes a bit like crazy because you can only build 90 square meters and very steep slope. And there's a plot right next to you. And let's just say if I'm looking this way, the ocean is slightly at an angle, but there's a plot next to you that could block. And 90 square meters for me is tiny. And they'll explain here, the realtor will say, yes, but you can have like a space under, which is considered like for laundry, etc. And because it's steep, it won't be in your square meters. I just think those are anytime you have that type of thing. I just, from my perspective, it's a no-go. I don't want to get. I mean, I understand people do it, but for me, I think it's just too risky. You're trying to go around the rules. I don't want to have any trouble. The next one, by photo and on arrival, just stunning views. Flat surface, 180 views. Now, in front, one layer down, so about 3 meters down, there's a house on the left blocking not yet the view, but if they build 3 layers up, you'd have a house that would block part of view. And then next to it is this space where they have right now like some, I don't know, it's some trees and sitting area. But again, they could build. And now what you would have is you'd have your ground floor and first floor blocked. And your top floor would be open. Now, this is 508 square meters. It's 90,000 euros. So price per square meter is 177. And you can build up to 365 square meters. That's big. And then there's a question of access. The road is fine, but then you walk up like a little path to the plot. And the question is, can we build a road up to the plot? Or is it on someone else's plot? What does that mean? I know horror stories from people who've tried to do that and then don't get the access, right? So very important to understand, can you come up with the car? And then the realtor is saying, oh, but you could always park down there. Yeah, but down there at one moment is going to be someone else's lot, and no, you're not going to be able to park there. Even if today there's a big open area you can park. So for me, between the 2 houses possibly in front, one house and maybe another one in the future, if in the future someone can build and come up above, then for me it's too risky. So that was the experience from this morning. Right now, I don't know, I have another realtor in an hour. Let's see. I haven't found yet. I think the one that I saw yesterday, kind of in the trees, no noise, you can hear the waves, but you don't have that big open unobstructed views. You have ocean view. It's more pricey. It was 150,000. They said maybe the lowest the seller would take is 100, but that's the nicest I've seen so far. I don't know if we can find. Originally on the internet, it looked like you could find some of these around under 100, where you have a flat surface, a steep slope in front, and 180 views of the ocean. Because that ideally is what you'd want, or what I'm looking for. Our rule typically in terms of real estate to do for Airbnb was try to have a summer and a winter season if you can, ideally, or a summer season but high occupancy, most places booked out, and a long season ideally. Or you're going in because price is low. You can do capital appreciation and you're going to try to cover your costs, bring in some income. You'd have to do the math. Now, again, because prices of building are cheap, and every time I'm meeting with a realtor, I'm asking the same question just to cross-check how much to build per square meter. And again, this realtor said, and I say key in hand, meaning, all costs in. He said, well, very basic, very simple, 500. As soon as you want a bit, I always say the example, I want, I think I've stated this in a prior video, but what I say is I want it to look like a Mercedes-Benz, but I want it to be a Volkswagen. I don't want crappy. I want it to be sturdy, solid, well-built, and will make it look better. And he said, yeah, anyways, you'll be more like the 700, and then you can go, the sky's the limit. But again, at that type of price, so if I could find a lot, beautiful view, 80,000 euros, right? There's still some costs I'm trying to understand in terms of taxes and the rest, so I should get more information. But then if you add on those elements, let's say 20, 30,000 taxes, because it's not very clear, it seems, so let me explain what I've understood so far, is if there is a structure on site, you don't have to pay. So that's a big plus. Some of these plots had a structure, and they've tore it down, but because there was a structure originally, then you don't have to pay. And I heard it was like 100 euros per square meter. So it's an important, of not the plot, of the house you're going to build. So it can be still quite an amount of money. And so it's something that's important. But again, so if we add all the costs together, you could still find yourself, if you find, at the 80 range, a beautiful plot, you build. Can you build something that stands out? So, and it looks like for instance, the plot I saw yesterday in the oak trees down there, you can't even see it from anywhere, and they seem to say, yes, you could build something modern looking. So, you know, to be verified. Anyway, so that was my experience. I'm going to be meeting with another realtor at lunch. He seems to have, based on all the websites, better offer, more plots with panoramic views at interesting prices. So let's see. I'll keep you posted. So just to provide a little update, so saw a plot, really liked, some complexities with it. It's very steep, views are just incredible. So you'd have to build like a terraced house, right? You'd have to build like 3 levels. You can build up to 300 square meter. Again, checking with the realtor, cost of building, disagreed with the 500 euro per square meter. He said you need to be counting from 700. 500 won't be what you call key in, which is the full everything included. He said, you know, once you do the taxes, notary fees, architect fees. So he said, but from 7 up. He showed me, it was incredible. I really like this realtor. He's German. He's been here 15 years, done tons, and just going around, just explaining also the type of shady deals and the type of things. And, you know, of course it could be all talk, but I had a really good feeling in terms, he's not interested in, you know, in anything. Like he was showing some examples of people who bought and were told, don't worry, you know, in front of you, nothing can happen. And then he told the buyer, don't touch it. I would not touch it. And buyer bought, and a couple years later, boom, house goes in front, blocks the view. So this one, it's on a slope, nothing in front. So you got just 180 view of the ocean. You're a bit further up, but you're, you know, 10 minutes from, 15 minutes from Budva. So really not bad at all. I was checking the air DNA, and the occupancy rates are low in this area. So if you check Budva, you'll see it's like 23%. Average air, you know, average rental price is $53. So gotta be a bit careful. I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of properties on the market, so not sure. Now, he was explaining in the height, just before the boom, prices per square meter when you bought here went up to the 500 range, and Russians are coming and buying. And right now, Russians, for now, because of COVID, they can't come in. And I think that Montenegro will see a boom. I was looking at the statistics of tourism arrivals year after year pre-COVID, and it was growing and growing, you know, 10%, 20%, more and more. If you start researching, you know, there's a beautiful book actually in this Airbnb where we're staying on Montenegro and all the areas, and I was looking at it. I mean, we spent quite a bit of our time focusing on looking at plots, picking an area we liked, understanding the market, looking at what you get for the money, looking at comps, and but just in the northern, you know, there's in the Molitor Mountains, it's a ski resort, just crazy beautiful. The lakes, it's just for hiking, two and a half hour drive from here. So, you know, nothing's huge. So anyway, so yeah, really interested. Went back looking at it second time, really interested. And it seems in terms of, you know, I know building costs are much higher when it's steep, but you know, you could do encasement walls, of course that costs, and fill them up, and you could do a 1 level, 2 level, and you'd arrive by car at the top, but unobstructed and green and mountain around. And super reasonable. The lot is about, I can't remember the details, but about 500 square meters gross. You can build 300, nobody behind you, nobody in front, because it's steep down below. You're up on this hill, so you're fine. And it's going for 73,000 euros. So, you know, my take on this would be that in, you know, a couple years, maybe 5 years, the lot is worth twice as much. I hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, there are a lot of great options in the Budva area of Montenegro. We're very excited. So if you liked it, please click the subscribe, press the like button, put some questions, some comments. We're continuing our journey, trying to find the perfect plots to invest in. Make sure you follow us. More videos to come about Montenegro, but also other beautiful places around the world where you can get stunning real estate at low prices. So if you're interested in that, make sure you continue, subscribe to the channel, and watch the videos to come. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video.